Adrian was the picture of modern success, a tech entrepreneur with a growing startup, a sleek apartment in the heart of the city, and a calendar packed with meetings and deadlines. He lived life in the fast lane. But despite his achievements, an emptiness gnawed at him, a feeling that he was missing out on something important. One hectic afternoon, as Adrian hurried through the crowded streets of downtown, his phone buzzed incessantly with notifications. Distracted, he collided with an elderly woman, knocking her bag to the ground. "I'm so sorry," Adrian exclaimed, quickly bending down to help her gather her belongings. The woman smiled kindly, unbothered by the mishap. "No harm done," she said. "You seem like a man in a rush." Adrian nodded, slightly embarrassed. "Yeah, just a lot going on." The woman looked at him with a gentle yet perceptive gaze. Life has a way of slipping by when you're always in a hurry. Sometimes the most important thing you can do is pause, even if just for a moment. Her words lingered with Adrian as he continued on his way, the buzz of the city surrounding him. That evening, instead of diving back into work as usual, he found himself reflecting on the woman's advice. For the first time in a long while, he decided to do nothing. He turned off his phone, sat on his balcony, and simply watched the city below. As he sat there, something shifted within him. The city, which usually felt like a blur, now seemed alive with details he had forgotten. People laughing, the soft rustle of the wind, the changing colors of the sky at dusk. For the first time in as long as he could remember, Adrian wasn't thinking about work, his to-do list, or his next meeting. He was just present. The next morning, Adrian decided to carry this feeling into his day. He set aside a few minutes to pause before diving into his busy schedule. At first, it was just a small ritual, 5 minutes of sitting quietly with his coffee, focusing on his breath. But those 5 minutes soon became something he looked forward to, a brief moment of calm before the storm of his day. As the weeks went by, Adrian began incorporating more pauses into his routine. During lunch breaks, he took walks in the park without his phone, simply enjoying the fresh air and the sounds of nature. He found that these small, intentional breaks from his hectic pace made a world of difference. His mind felt clearer, his stress levels dropped, and he became more focused and creative at work. His colleagues noticed the change. They commented on how much more present and grounded he seemed, how his decisions were more thoughtful and less rushed. Adrian realized that the constant pressure to stay connected, to always be doing something, had been draining him. By allowing himself moments of stillness, he had unlocked a new level of productivity and creativity. One day, as he sat in his office, Adrian looked around at the signs of his success, the sleek gadgets, the awards, the framed photos of milestone moments. But what he felt most proud of wasn't any of those things. It was the peace he had found in the midst of his busy life, the balance between work and rest that he had been missing for so long. Reflecting on his journey, Adrian realized that true success wasn't about how much he accomplished, but how he felt while doing it. The elderly woman's simple advice to pause had led him to rediscover something he had lost, a sense of connection to himself and the world around him. Adrian's life didn't slow down. If anything, his business continued to grow, and his responsibilities increased. But now he approached it all with a new perspective. He made time for what truly mattered, his health, his relationships, and those precious moments of stillness that recharged his spirit. The emptiness that once haunted him began to fade, replaced by a quiet, steady contentment. One afternoon, while walking through the same street where he had met the elderly woman, Adrian found himself looking for her, hoping to thank her, but she was nowhere to be seen. Still, he smiled, knowing that her wisdom had left a lasting impact on his life. Adrian had learned that in a world that never stops, the most valuable thing you can do is to pause, even for a moment. In those pauses, he discovered the peace and balance that had eluded him for so long, and in that balance he found the key to a truly successful life.